Hey guys, today I'm bringing you a video that for me is pretty special. This is a sort of review a la Joe of the Fury. Now, this tank doesn't differ much from the normal version, only it looks so much cuter than the other one. And when it hit the stores, I actually wasn't interested in premium tanks at all yet, so I didn't get it. And I regretted that so much afterwards, because I'm a bit of a tank collector. And to know that this really cute tank was missing in my garage really annoyed me. So when it got back on sale in December, I was so happy. And not long before that, I was actually driving it with Mr. Conway on a live stream on the Wargaming page. But still, I didn't have it, so it was only on my press account. And it just bothered me so much because I was enjoying it a lot. And I aced it on the stream, and at the time I didn't know it was going to be on sale again. So for me, that, though I really did enjoy that game and the ace that came with it, it only made me more annoyed at the fact that I didn't have the tank myself. So for a very long time, this tank was for me just the one that got away. But then it did came on sale again, and I bought it about the minute that it came out, just to be sure that Wargaming could never take it away from me again. And I'm so very happy that I did. Because even though so far in this game you've seen me mostly miss a heck lot of shots, I really do enjoy this tank, and I aced it so many times already. This whole video is just a collection of the aces that I had, and it's just the most fun ones in my opinion. And yes, I still think the tank is probably pretty rare in the game, so it's technically easier to ace than others. But at the same time, I really have an affinity with this tank. Same kind of thing that I have with the E5, I just adore it to bits. And I think the tanks require a pretty similar tanking style, E5 and Fury that is. And that's probably one of the reasons why I really like it and why I'm doing pretty well in it. It's pretty bouncy if you're using the mobility to actually wiggle a lot and make those bounces. The reload on the gun is amazing, pen is just fine. I don't mind using Premo, so even for this on the side I'm mostly using AP right now, and it works. And since this is not a tier 10 E5, it's a tier 6 Fury, the noobs are actually a bit more forgiving of your mistakes, so in that way it's a more relaxing gameplay than you would have in the E5. One of the things I actually had to get used to a little bit is the fact that this is a pretty high profile for a medium. Or at least in my opinion, I'm more used to my mediums being more low to the ground. But in my opinion, though it is technically a medium, it's more a heavium. And that just works so well for me, because me and heaviums, we get along great, and this is no exception. And I just have a really big weakness for cute tanks as well, so it's like a win-win-win situation for me. And I think that if not for the E5, this would probably be my new soulmate tank-wise. But yeah, nothing beats my E5. But I do find that with the useless grind missions that we keep getting in the game right now, I'm actually playing tier 6 a lot more than tier 10, because it's just less frustrating and it's easier to carry here. So I think that that is one of the reasons why I keep acing this tank, because I've just been playing it a heck lot lately. And this was actually one of those games where I started out with noobing so much that I really did not think that it would be anything remotely like an ace. Even though I did get quite a few shots in, but still. But that is exactly why it's one of my favorite aces in this tank, because it's just an unexpected one, and I did get a steel wall and I do enjoy those. So for the rest of this video I'll mostly be talking gameplay, and you'll get to see how I drive this tank and what I prefer to do in this tank and what I managed to pull off in this tank. Now, for some reason this footage is a little bit glitchy. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I'm using it anyway because it was a funny ace. The beginning of the game is a little bit boring, but towards the end I pull off some move that I'm actually pretty proud of, so I decided to put it in here anyway. And for this specific battle I'm hanging out here and just sniping people from afar because I can, and they apparently are not bothered by the fact that they are losing their health very, very quickly. And though I have been playing this tank solo for quite a bit, I'm actually tuning for this battle, and my teammate is none other than Xenodium. And at the moment I'm running out of targets, so I'm just looking around to see where I can go, and I actually back up to see if I can shoot the guys that are pushing on my team. And as I do so, I do gain another few targets, so I can still stay here, snipe from afar, and be very naughty that way. And generally, I really prefer to be much more up close and personal with the enemy team. But sometimes this just works out better because they have people that they are shooting, and I can actually do more from here. But as this guy goes down and he actually spots me, I know that I need to press on. Because if I stay here right now, I'll end up getting shot in the rear and we'll be pincered by the enemy team, and I really don't want that. So I just try to see if I can get another shot in there, but when I don't, I do push forwards and I decide to take up another position before we have enemies in our ass. So I move forwards towards hopefully the rear of the enemy team. I get spotted again, but I get away with it. And I'm actually hoping to just shoot them from afar still. I do find a target here, but he hides quickly, so I can't shoot him. And as I move, I do get shot. And I try to shoot that guy, but because I'm still moving very fast, my shot goes very wide. And the reason that I didn't stop there is because I don't want to be out in the open like that. I have a much better position here. So I push on forwards a little bit, do get shot again as I move back into my cover, and then shoot this guy again. And now we actually get towards the part where I'm pretty liking my moves, because I am getting pretty low on health. I am at a disadvantage, but I use whatever I can, and in this case that is literally the ground, to make the guy miss me and shoot something else. So as he comes, I activate my adrenaline because I know I need to get rid of him pretty quickly, and I know it will hurt, but I can survive him because I can outload him. Meanwhile, Philip is still being awesome in the middle, so I don't need to worry about that. But I do need to worry about myself because this guy is now coming up and I know I need to use the corpse. So I shoot him and I wiggle a bit as I go back, and then he bounces. And even though he has adrenaline, I'll outdraw him as well. So he more or less presented himself on a silver platter, and I know I need to be careful with this guy. But I do get to shoot him before he shoots me, and I think that that is one of the pros of using sniper mode this much, because I don't need to zoom in by the time that I see the enemy. I'm already zoomed in. Philip has just killed the last one, so that's actually the end of this battle, and it was another ace with a high caliber, so I'm pretty proud of that one. And though this ace seemed pretty easy to get as well, I still really like the game. But onwards to the next one. This one is actually in Supremacy as well, and though I want the team to get A and B, when we actually start I notice the team is doing anything but that, so I decide to not follow my own plan and just do what I think is best, which is in this case sticking to the team. So I get a free shot in there, and then I know I need to be careful because this tank is a pretty high profile, and just because I can't see them doesn't always mean that they can't see me. So keeping a close eye on the minimap to see what my enemy is doing, I start going back and forwards just a little bit to try and shoot that guy. I bounce him and it doesn't reset the base, so I can cap the base at the same time, which is quite good. Because it's always a very nice thing to actually be less base dependent, because you already have one and you don't need to watch the other bases that much. Then this guy decides to fully YOLO, and that just means some free damage without any risk because he's not looking at me. He's just generally getting himself killed very quickly. And that leaves this teammate to be basically at a disadvantage as well because he's alone now, and I can just get behind them, get another shot in and get a kill. And still haven't taken no damage myself, so I quite like that. So I head on up knowing that I need to kill people quickly and then hopefully capture another base, because it's quite tricky as the enemy has now 2 bases. This guy is still ignoring me, only now starting to pay attention to me, and he's already lost quite a bit of health. He does get a shot in, but I'm not too worried because I'm far from a one shot from him, and yeah, I kill him, so it's all good. And then I head towards base B to cap, even though it's 7-2. I don't want to take the chance because you never know, noobs can get lucky. And now there's even only one guy left, but we're not sure where exactly he is. And then he gets spotted, and I know he's actually close by, and I decide to just stay here because he's obviously coming here. And I'm not too worried because I have plenty of health and I have plenty of friends. So I just need to get him here, and I do bounce that shot, so that's not as nice. But then my friends arrive, and even though he's still focusing on me, I did get the base. And now I just need to avoid getting shot again, and then I shoot and I kill him, and that's the end of that game as well. And can you just look at how cute this little tank is? I just love the coloring and everything, and the fact that it drives so amazingly nice. That's just icing on the cake. And this also got me a nice bit of, well, certificates for gold, but still, it was an ace, got plenty of credits, and it was a nice mission to complete, so I'm happy with that. And next up is this match on Desert Sands together with Penguin Killer, also driving the Fury, so you get double cuteness in one match. And it's on Supremacy, so we decide to go base A first. And we spot our first enemy, and I know that it would be nice if we could actually capture this base without dying. But they don't actually push, they just seem to hold back, so we have a sort of free cap going on. And that guy is also just pulling back again, and we've already captured the base now, so that's a nice point advantage early in the game. And our team is also capping base C. Now this guy peeks over, which means that I get a free shot in, but then he pulls back, and I know that there's a guy coming up behind us, so I turn around to shoot that guy, miss by a mile because I'm still turning as I'm shooting, and then I just start to hit him, and I'm careful not to peek out too far, because chances are they have campers at the rail and I don't want to get shot by them. But then as he goes over, and it's just a free trick shoot here, I do get shot, but I have activated my adrenaline because I can get a lot of shots in here without too much problem. But I am careful not to be too forwards, because I know that if all those guns were to point towards me, I would actually die pretty quickly. So I shoot the Fury because, well, I like my Fury best, so I want all the other Furies to be gone. And then I start dealing with the Fury. But as I do that, I do get shot in the rear, and that means that I have the option to either turn towards another enemy or to push forwards and kill this guy. And I know that he has the same reload as me, but he still has his adrenaline, so I need to be careful there. So I'm gonna use this lovely corpse to my advantage and have him actually shoot the corpse instead of me, which means that I now out HP him, and then I can kill him pretty quickly. And just as that is over, this guy backs right into my line of fire. So still using the corpse as cover, I start taking on the next one. And yeah, well, he's not even paying attention to me, even though he could shoot me so bad. So as the guy keeps ignoring me, I just head on forwards just a little bit and kill him off. And then start to maneuver my way between the corpses to get to the next enemy, even though it won't be long until we've actually won. Because, well, we have definitely the base advantage. Now this shot does no damage, and his shot luckily does no damage either. So I can get another shot in, and then I just wait to reload, and I know we've already won, so I'm not really worried. And then the battle ends, and I had this really nice, intense feeling of an epic game. And this was just happy, because I love getting an ace for a game that gives me that kind of feeling. Where after the battle you're still shaking and you're like, wow, I can't believe I survived that, and I'm so glad I got an ace, because this time I did feel like I actually earned it. And then I got this game, and I actually didn't have much hope, because it starts with Cracker's cousin Tori Roll claiming that matchmaking is rigged and just half the team going the wrong way, and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be another one of those games. But actually, I get my first target here, which is just waiting to be shot. And even though he starts moving, then that's actually a good thing, because it means that I can probably shoot the enemies that are down there without too much risk to myself. So I get a shot in, and then I just decide I want the kill. So I peek out a little further and kill the guy. And I keep a close eye on my mini-map just to see what the enemy is doing, because my team is getting shot quite badly. But as I go down, I'm not actually that careful, so I take a shot and I get a shot in return. And I don't even activate my adrenaline, because, well, basically thanks to Cracker's cousin, I really didn't think that this would go anything but really badly. But he does get a few shots into me in the end, but he also just lets me kill him very nicely by looking away at the last moment. And then I just head on forwards to see what I can do to potentially save my team. I get some free damage there as I drive with a luckily shot that actually hit. And then I just continue onwards to see what I can do. But as I do that, I do need to be careful to not get in my own team's way. So I give the LTTB a wide birch before I actually probably cut in front of him, because I want to use the building to my advantage and to use it as cover without the enemy being able to shot me, and hopefully get some shots in while they're focusing on my teammates. So I derp a shot there, and then I just pull back just a little bit, and I use the house as cover to just turn around and try and get a shot in. But I do get shot then, and then I'm like, okay, then it doesn't matter. You've just shot, so now I can fire safely. At this time, the LTTB from the enemy team is actually starting to really focus on me. But because I have friends, I can actually get a shot in. He's really trying to hurt me, which he does. But then he pulls back before I can kill him. And I decide to focus on the KV-2 instead, because I don't like having such big guns around. So I kill off the KV-2, and it's at this moment in time that I'm actually thinking that maybe I could possibly get a res. But at the same time, with the situation being as it is, I would just be happy to survive at all. And then the LTTB is shot, and I know that I won't get a res. But I know that I'm using this building and the corpses way to my advantage, and I just love this game so far. It's so intense, and it was so just, well, nerve-wracking in a way, because had anyone pushed out, they would have killed me so badly. So now I just need to steal this last kill to at least get a Pulse medal, and I'm very, very, very happy with this game. And that for me was just like the icing on the cake for this whole video, as a last game, another ace, and just, well, the best one in my opinion. Overall, yeah, I really do adore this tank, and I'm just so glad I got it back into the game. And I don't know if you had anything to do with it, Robert, but thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time.